Are you thinking about making the move to Jacksonville Beach, Florida? Well, in today's video, I'm going to cover the real pros and cons of what it's like to live here in Jax Beach, Florida. Let's jump in. My name is Alice Toy, and I'm your local Jacksonville realtor, and every day I get calls from people just like you who are looking to make the move to Jacksonville. So whether you're moving next week, next month, or next year, please feel free to give me a call, send a text, or shoot an email so that I can help you make the smooth move here too. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit like and subscribe below so that you can be the first to know all things moving to Jacksonville. So in today's video, we're going to be covering all the pros and cons that you need to know if you are going to make the move to Jacksonville Beach. So throughout this video, you'll probably hear me saying Jacksonville Beach or just Jax Beach as the shortened version. So I actually live here in Jax Beach myself, and of course I sell homes here, so I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to be able to speak on this topic. Before we get into the pros and cons of living here, let's just go over a few quick facts about Jax Beach. So Jax Beach is located in the northeastern part of Florida and the southeastern part of Duval County, and it's located along the Atlantic Ocean. So it roughly is the size of about 7 square miles and has a population of 23,000 according to the last census that was done in 2022. If you live here in Jax Beach, you can expect about a 35-minute drive up to the Jacksonville International Airport, about a 30-minute drive to downtown Jacksonville. It's about a 20 to 25-minute drive to Naval Station Mayport, and about a 40-minute drive out to Naval Air Station Jacksonville. All right. Now that we got that covered, let's talk about the pros of living here. And the first one that I have for you is a softball, but it's the beach. So if you love going to the beach, if the ocean is calling you, if you love watching the sunrise and spending the day on the beach with your family, then this is the place for you. Like I mentioned earlier, Jax Beach is about 7 square miles, and no matter where you live, you're never going to be about more than 1.5 miles from the ocean. So most places that you live here in Jax Beach, you're gonna be able to just walk out to the beach whenever you want and also be able to ride your bike out to the beach. Many people around here also have golf carts and use those as their main mode of transportation around town. One of my favorite things to do on the beach is take my bike out and ride my bike on the beach. So when the tide gets really low and the sand gets packed down pretty hard, you can actually take your bike out onto the beach and just ride up and down the ocean. Another hobby that I found since I lived here is looking for shark's teeth. And once you find the first one, you'll be addicted and you won't want to stop looking. So if you see sandy, fun-filled days in your future, then Jax Beach is the place for you. All right, let's talk about the next pro of living here, which is the Jacksonville Beach lifestyle. So the lifestyle here in Jacksonville Beach is a very walkable and very active outdoor lifestyle. So if you love to be able to just go outside of your house and go for a walk or go for a bike ride, then this is a great place to be able to do that. Many of the things that you need here are within walking distance or within biking distance. And so there's such an opportunity to be able to get outside and not use a car as your main mode of transportation to be able to get places. One of the things that I love about living here is being able to walk or bike to be able to go to bars and restaurants, and of course go out to the beach. And some days when I'm not out and about doing showings or anything like that, there's days that I don't even hop in my car. I just get on my bike and take my bike to the grocery store or to the pharmacy when I need things. And I just absolutely love that. Okay, talking about how easy it is to walk places and to bike places leads me into my next pro of living in Jacksonville Beach, and that is the amenities and the shopping. We have everything that you could possibly need for your day-to-day life here in Jacksonville Beach. So even just within this small 7 square miles of land, we've got everything you need. So in terms of grocery shopping, we have a Whole Foods, we have a Trader Joe's, we have a Native Sun Natural Market. Of course, we have Publix, we have Winn-Dixie. We have got your grocery game covered here. If you are looking for shopping, we have Marshall's, we have a Home Goods, we have Home Depot. We're actually opening up a Nordstrom Rack soon. And so all of that stuff is super close together. And we also have a Super Target. If you're looking for a pharmacy, those are everywhere. And of course, there are so many different bars and restaurants here in Jax Beach to choose from that you really don't even need to leave the area if you don't want to be able to have everything that you need. I know for me personally, I probably could stay within a 3-mile radius and hit all of those all of that shopping in the grocery stores, all of those things are within a 3-mile radius, and I don't have to go further than that to be able to have access to all of those things. So it's pretty amazing. All right, the next pro of living here in Jax Beach is the weather. And I'm not just talking about the beautiful Florida sunshine that all of Florida has. What I'm talking about here is the ocean breeze that we get by living close to the coast. So because we live close to the ocean, one of the benefits of living here at the beach is that during the summer, we get the ocean breeze. And so if you go further inland, what you'll feel is that it feels hotter than it does at the beach because of that ocean breeze. So because the breeze is blowing off the ocean, it's blowing in cooler air to us, and it actually does feel cooler here at the beach in the summer than it does if you were to go 10 to 15 minutes inland. And the reverse of that is actually true too. So in the winter, when it gets colder, some of the places that are inland that might get a hard freeze or have a freeze warning, we're actually less likely to have the freeze and are typically a few degrees warmer because of the breeze that's blowing off the ocean. So occasionally here in Florida, it does get below 50, but here at the beach, it stays a little bit warmer because of the breeze that's coming off of the ocean. And it also just helps us be protected from the freezes. So it helps protect our plants and things like that. All right, now that we've covered the good, let's talk about some of the cons of living here. So the first con that I have for you is the traffic. So in Jax Beach, we really only have about one main road that takes us up and down the beaches, and that's called 3rd Street or A1A. And it is a 4-lane highway, and it has a lot of stoplights, but the traffic can get pretty backed up. So sometimes even though you're going a short distance, it can take you a long time, especially if you get caught at the lights, because there are a lot of lights on this road. And it being the main road that everybody's on, the traffic can get pretty congested, especially during the summer when people are traveling here and we have tourists here that are here to vacation. The second con that I have for you about living in Jacksonville Beach is pricing. So home prices here at the beach are definitely more expensive than other places in Jacksonville. And so I'm sure you've heard the phrase in real estate, the 3 things that matter the most are location, 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 and that rings true here. So because Jax Beach is of course located within walking distance to the beach, it is a very popular and desirable and in-demand area. And so we know that when we have more demand for something, then that's going to increase prices. And so the overall median price for a home here in Jax Beach is $675,000. And for a single family home, that median price is $730,000. And so for about $730,000, you could expect to get a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house with about 2,000 square feet. So with the prices being higher, it can be harder to find a home within your budget here at the beach. The next con that I have for you is the home maintenance here if you own a house in Jacksonville Beach. So because we are so close to the ocean, one of the things that you can expect is to have more home maintenance on your house. And so what I mean by that is the corrosion that's happening because we live close to the ocean. So the salt air, of course, is not good for metals. And so the things like your door handles, even on the inside, I've noticed that in the past 2 years, that most of my doorknobs have some sort of rust on them. So that corrosion and having to replace some of these things more often is something you can definitely expect if you live here at the beach. You know, I would also consider, like, you don't want to keep some of your things outside. So if you have like a lawnmower, or, you know, if you keep your bikes outside normally, you would want to keep your bikes in the garage to prevent the corrosion and the rusting on like your bike chains and all of that stuff. All right, and the last con that I have for you if you are considering moving to Jacksonville Beach is that the fact that most of Jacksonville Beach is going to be located in a flood zone or in an evacuation zone. So first I'll talk about the flood zone portion of it. So there are some portions of Jacksonville Beach that are not in a flood zone. So like me, where my house is located, I'm perfectly positioned where I'm not close to the intercoastal and I'm not close to the ocean. And so I'm not in a flood zone. And so therefore flood insurance is not required for my home. So flood insurance is an extra expense that you would need to take into account if you're planning on buying a house here in Jacksonville Beach, because you can't guarantee that you're not going to be able to find a house that is not in the flood zone. And of course, not just the fact that you have to pay for flood insurance, but then also you have the risk of, if you are in a flood zone, you do have a higher risk of having your house get flooded. Here in Jax Beach, we are located in Zone A and Zone B evacuation zones. So what that means is that Zone A and Zone B are really just the most likely to get evacuated in the event that they call that emergency and there needs to be some sort of evacuation. So the good news is that I can't remember the last time that they've had a mandatory evacuation, so it doesn't happen often. Jacksonville is really one of the places that gets the least amount of direct hit hurricanes, so that is kind of like the benefit. but there's always that possibility, because we are in Zone A or Zone B, that we could be forced to evacuate. All right, so there you have it. That is all about the pros and cons of living here in Jacksonville Beach. I can tell you this, if you want to live here, you're absolutely going to love it. I'll see you in the next video.